La parola all'onorevole Keller per il gruppo dei Verdi.
Prime Minister, thank you very much for your speech, which I believe was very strong and very pro-European, and I'm very happy for that, because a lot of people are very concerned when it comes to the future of Europe. We see many governments who are actually falling short of providing rule of law, progress on democracy in their country. So it's good to see that things can be done differently. That's very, very good to see. And let me congratulate you specifically on some of the measures that have been already taken in Spain, which reflect the commitments you were voicing here, namely, firstly, your decision to increase the minimum salary to 900 euros, which helped a lot of families who suffered a lot in the past from the budgetary cuts, from the anti-social reforms, especially also in combination with your reform now on taxation, which will be a great improvement. And we want a true social union, and for that we need more efforts in the Council in every single member state. So I really hope that others will follow your example. And secondly, your decision to make sure that families who put up solar panels on their roofs will actually benefit from their initiative. And that is a way how you can combat climate change, but also award people for their own initiative and make sure that everyone will contribute in this big quest to save our planet. And we need these concrete steps. And finally, I'm very happy, as you have also mentioned today, that your cabinet has the highest proportion of women in the whole European Union. Women's rights are human rights, and we're still far, far from a good gender equality, but we need to make progressive steps there. And we see a big backlash in many member states inside the European Union against women's rights, against human rights. And there it's very good to see that there's still some governments left who can champion a new agenda, ambitious agenda. It has to be on gender equality. But your job in Spain is certainly not an easy one. And of course, you've inherited a lot of problems. And one of them is indeed the situation in Catalonia. And the harsh and uncompromising way in which your predecessor from the Conservatives has dealt with the issue hardened the conflict and made it worse. And now it's on your desk. And it's very clear that only a democratic, political solution can lead the way forward. And this includes also a solution for the prisoners. Also, 2 former members of our group are currently in prison. And what they're accused of doesn't stand up to scrutiny, as has been pointed out by courts in Belgium and in Germany. So we urge you to initiate a sincere dialogue, because only with goodwill from both sides that will help us. Only a goodwill from both sides will bring us closer to a solution which is sorely needed for Catalonia, for the whole of Spain, for the whole of Europe. And Prime Minister, you mentioned the European values and how all of us need to stand up for that. And there I'm very concerned looking at Andalusia and by the government formations there, because an extremist right-wing party will be included in a governmental deal, will be tolerating the government. And there I'm really, really sad to see that the Conservatives and the Liberals are agreeing to that, a deal which will make sure that those nationalists will have a say on our future and the future in Andalusia, but of course that goes beyond. And I'm very sure that many of you are concerned about that. I'm sure that many of you are not happy about that. But that's exactly a time when you can do that concrete action, where all of us and all our groups have to work for that this does not happen, because it's a shameful deal whenever any one of us would make a coalition with an extremist, nationalist, right-wing extremist party. Let's not do that. Use all the powers that you have in your hands, and you have that to end that deal. And we support the women who are protesting right now for gender equality, because machismo and violence against women has no place anywhere in the European Union. And I would like to remind you, Prime Minister, that many of the goals that you mentioned, all of them, gender equality, ecology, social Europe, all that needs action at the European level. So we hope for your initiative in the Council as well. We hope for your support in the Council, and to make sure that your colleagues in the Council will follow your example. And if you're going to do that, working for a progressive, for social, ecological and democratic Europe, then you can count on our support. Thank you.